Buddy to the rescue. Emily Harper was a shy 14-year-old girl living in the quiet countryside of Willow Creek. Life for her had always been simple, yet lonely. Being an only child, she often found solace in books and her sketch pad. Though she adored drawing nature and animals, Emily had never had a pet. Her parents, cautious and practical, thought animals were too much responsibility. One sunny autumn afternoon, Emily was walking home from school along the familiar country road. As she strolled, she hummed a tune, her bag swaying rhythmically with her steps. The road was empty, save for the occasional rustle of leaves. Emily loved these moments. They felt like her own little world. But that day, her peaceful walk was interrupted by an unusual sound, a faint whimpering coming from a nearby ditch. Curious, she stopped and peered over the edge. There, amidst the dry grass, was a scruffy golden retriever puppy with a matted coat, looking up at her with soulful brown eyes. Emily's heart melted instantly. "Oh no, little one, are you hurt?" she murmured, crouching down. The dog wagged its tail weakly, seemingly relieved to see her. Without hesitation, Emily slid into the ditch and gently examined him. "You look like you've been out here for days," she said softly, stroking his head. The puppy whimpered again, licking her hand as if to say thank you. Emily didn't think twice. She scooped the puppy into her arms and began walking briskly toward her house. The little dog was light, but Emily could feel his frailty. "Don't worry," she whispered. "I'll take care of you." When she arrived home, her parents were surprised. "Emily, where did you find this dog?" her mother asked, concern evident in her voice. "He was in a ditch, Mom. He's hurt and starving. Can we keep him?" "Just until we find his owner," Emily pleaded. Her father frowned. "We'll take him to the vet, but we can't promise to keep him, Emily." That night, after a visit to the local veterinarian, the puppy was bathed, bandaged, and fed. He was no longer the scruffy, pitiful sight Emily had found. He was a handsome little dog with a golden coat and a curious sparkle in his eyes. Emily decided to call him Buddy. In the days that followed, Emily and Buddy became inseparable. Buddy seemed to understand her in ways no one else could. When she sketched by the window, he would sit beside her, resting his head on her lap. When she walked to school, he'd follow her halfway, waiting patiently until she returned. Emily's parents noticed the change in her. "She's smiling more," her mother observed one evening. Her father nodded but remained cautious. "Let's see if someone comes forward to claim him. He might belong to someone." But deep down, Emily hoped Buddy was hers to keep. One crisp morning, a week after Buddy had entered Emily's life, she was running late for school. She hurriedly packed her bag and waved goodbye to Buddy, who barked in response. As she jogged toward the bus stop, she realized she had forgotten her sketchbook. "I'll be back, Buddy," she called, dashing back toward the house. Just as she crossed the main road, a car came speeding down the hill. The driver, distracted, didn't see Emily until it was almost too late. Emily froze, her legs refusing to move as the blaring horn approached. Suddenly, a golden blur shot past her. It was Buddy. With a determined bark, he leapt at her, knocking her out of the car's path just in time. Emily landed on the grassy shoulder, her heart pounding. The car screeched to a halt several feet away. "Emily!" Her mother's voice rang out as she ran from the house, having witnessed the scene from the window. Buddy stood protectively in front of Emily, growling at the car. The driver, shaken, apologized profusely, but all Emily could focus on was Buddy. She threw her arms around him, tears streaming down her face. "You saved me, Buddy. You're my hero." After that day, no one could deny Buddy's place in the Harper family. Even Emily's father, who had been reluctant at first, was won over. "He's earned his place here," he said, patting Buddy's head. Buddy continued to be Emily's loyal companion. He seemed to sense when she was happy, sad, or worried, always offering silent comfort. Their bond deepened, and Emily often thought of Buddy not just as a pet, but as her best friend. Years later, Emily would look back on that fateful day with gratitude. Buddy had not only saved her life but had filled it with love and joy. In the end, Buddy wasn't just a dog. He was family.